All right, today we're going to break down a simple but really powerful framework that's designed to make your business decisions smarter and way more cost-effective. It's called the sourcing cycle. And trust me, getting a handle on this is a huge advantage for pretty much any project you'll ever tackle.
But first, let's start with a question. Just think for a second about a project that went completely off the rails, or maybe a big purchase that your team had to rush through. What was the real cost of that? And I'm not just talking about the money. I mean the wasted time, the frustration, the long-term headaches that just seem to never go away. Yeah, those are the exact hidden costs we're about to put an end to.
And that leads us right to the heart of the problem, the incredibly high cost of rushing things. So let's dig into what happens when you make those big, important decisions without a real process in place.
See, without a plan, it's like a chain reaction, right? The pressure builds, and that leads to rushed commitments. And those hasty decisions, they almost always lead to lower project success rates. But the real killer, the thing that drains you long-term, are those hidden life cycle costs. You know, the surprise maintenance, the unexpected repairs, all the fixes that bleed your resources dry long after you thought the project was done. And look, this isn't just bad luck. It's the direct result of a broken process.
So, how do we dodge all these expensive traps? Well, we need a system, and that brings us to the solution, a repeatable playbook designed for clarity and for success. It's called the sourcing cycle. At its core, the sourcing cycle is a repeatable framework. And that word, repeatable, that's the magic right there. It means you stop reinventing the wheel for every single decision. Instead, you've got this proven system that guides your choices, guides your approvals, and delivers consistent, high-quality results every time. And here's the roadmap. It's a super clear 5-step process. It all starts with Step 1, analyze your need. And I mean really analyze it. Get deep into what you actually need, not just what you think you want. Then, Step 2 is all about defining a crystal clear strategy to meet that need. From there, Step 3, you rigorously evaluate your options, your suppliers, your solutions. Step 4, you negotiate the best deal you possibly can before you award any contract. And finally, Step 5 is where it all comes together. You manage and review the outcome. This is what makes it a cycle. What you learn here feeds right back into how you analyze your needs the next time, creating this awesome loop of continuous improvement.
Okay, so following a process sounds nice and all, but what's in it for you? What's the actual tangible payoff? Let's take a look at the numbers. The numbers really do speak for themselves here. Research shows that just by putting a structured sourcing process in place, you can cut the total lifecycle cost of a project by 8 to 14%. That is a huge chunk of change that goes straight to your bottom line, all from just adding a little discipline up front.
Now, this isn't just some abstract theory. To see how this works out in the real world, let's look at a company that is absolutely legendary for its operational excellence, Toyota.
For Toyota, a process is literally everything. They just don't do rushed commitments because discipline is baked right into their DNA, especially when it comes to choosing suppliers. They get that a decision made today is going to have ripple effects for years to come. Their secret weapon? You can boil it down to 2 words, approval gates. Now think of these like mandatory checkpoints. To move from one stage of a project to the next, a team has to pass a formal review. They have to prove they've done their homework on financials, on quality, on strategic fit. This forces everyone to pause, it demands thoughtful evaluation, and it makes sure that discipline is front and center at every single step. So when you put these 2 ways of working side by side, the difference is it's night and day. The unstructured approach, it's all based on guesswork, which leads to rushed commitments and, you guessed it, a high risk of failure. But Toyota's method, it's built on disciplined evaluation, it's guided by those approval gates, and it's all designed to ensure project success. The contrast just couldn't be clearer.
So, what does all of this mean for you? How can you actually start applying this stuff, like, today? Well, it all comes down to a really simple, actionable checklist.
It really just boils down to 2 simple rules. First, follow a repeatable set of steps. Don't just make it up as you go along. And second, evaluate and document every single decision. This builds accountability, and it creates this amazing knowledge base for the future. Seriously, master these 2 things, and you're already playing in a different league.
So, I'll leave you with this one final thought. Take a look at your own work, your own projects. Which of your current processes could you lock down and secure first by applying this framework? Pick one. Start there. Because turning that chaos into clarity, it all starts with that one single structured step.